And we did it. We made it live on the air.
Hey.
Hello all. Welcome,
So
Internet. I know.
Welcome,
isn't it?
chat room. Oh, hey, I just got a tweet. We must be live on the air.
Oh, really?
Yeah, imagine that.
That's how interesting. How about if we start a podcast?
You know, we're all here and it's Thursday night. Why not? Let's do it.
And here we go.
Welcome to Caching in the Northwest. Did you know this is the only podcast dedicated to geocaching in the Great Pacific Northwest? Tonight we'll talk about caches and caches unique to this little corner of the country. So, while you're kissing Aunt Tillie at the family Christmas party, we'll be caching in the Northwest.
And you know, it's time to bring in our Backcountry Monkey. Some say he drives where no primate has driven before. And others say he just doesn't listen to Mrs. Land Monkey. All we know is he's called Land Monkey.
That's true. And, you know, many primates have probably driven the places I drive, into lakes, on beaches, along roads in gold country where Mrs. Land Monkey says, please don't drive on that road. But, you know, we do it and we're still here. So it's all good. Hey, we want to thank you all listeners and our live viewers for joining us on the show tonight. We also want to thank our Denali level supporters. That's Limax, the Mount Vernon Parks and Rec Department, and worldcaching.com. And folks, if you want to know more about supporting this show, click the Patreon link on the cachingNW.com website. And most importantly tonight, we are going to talk with Terry from Gold Country, a favorite guest. And Terry, it's great to have you back with us again.
Merry Christmas. Thanks for having me.
Nice. Now, we thank you for sending in all the glows. We thank all you listeners for sending in the glows, but we still need them because we use one a week and we still need those coming in. So if you like this segment, the glow or the geocaching log of the week, we need your glow-worthy logs. We don't care if you wrote it or not. We don't care if it's new or old. We want to hear about it. Send an email to feedback@cachingnw.com, or you can call in to 253-693-TFTC, or even better yet, you can use the voicemail tool right there on the website to show us how you glow.
And over to you, Terry.
That's right.
All
Tonight,
right.
Terry's going to read it. You're spared from me reading the glow. Take it away, Terry.
All right. So this is a Gold Country one. Right? Everybody's excited. Yes.
Shameless self-promotion. We do that all the time. It's good.
All the time. So this log of the week is from Gnome number 4, and it is the Gold Country Park Ranch, which is GC3P6RE. And this is what his log of the week is. My first phase 2 find was the Joss house in Lytton over 3 years ago. I grabbed it on the weekend that I came up to the area to buy a house. After I moved here, I started taking these caches more seriously. These 2 series are the best series
Yes.
I have come across. So many cool stories and places, great hikes. This one is my final phase 2. Thanks for the cache, TFTC. So Gnome 4, he completed both phase 1 and phase 2 on the same day. So he completed one of each on the same day and came in for his puzzle coins. And he was stoked, but he was also a little bit in mourning and, holding his head in his hand and saying, I can't believe I'm done. What am I going to do? So it was really cool to see him celebrating, yet having this inner turmoil over it. And I can only imagine, because I don't have very many left to complete the series myself. So I can only understand, and congratulations to Gnome number 4.
Very cool. Hey, a question for you. I may just have misunderstood. When you said completed both phase 1 and phase 2 on the same day, you don't mean like did all the caches in both phase, like 140 caches in one day?
Goodness, no.
Okay.
He saved one each phase to finish on the same day so that
Got
he can
it.
complete them on the same
Oh,
day.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes
It's
way
like,
more
wow,
sense
that's
than what I was
impressive.
thinking.
Obviously, that didn't happen on the shortest day of the year,
No.
which was yesterday, by the way, the winter
It was.
solstice.
Happy winter solstice.
Well, Terry, thank you so much for that wonderful glow geocaching log of the week about caches in Gold Country. We're going to jump over to the other side of the border, where we have some news that end of last week, President Obama signed the Outdoor Recreation Jobs and Economic Impact Act.
That's a mouthful.
I should have gotten the letters for that and see if we could spell out something embarrassing. After it cleared the House and the Senate with unanimous bipartisan support, the new law essentially counts recreation as part of the official economic measures, including gross domestic product.
I look at the letters initially, and it looks like Orgy Act. So
I was just going to
moving
say, it
on.
actually kind of, you don't need to get any help. It pretty much spells out something pretty embarrassing.
Moving on.
I don't know where to go from that. The law's passage is a testament to the growing recognition of the positive impact that recreation can have on national, state, and local economies. Here in Washington, for example, recreation is a tremendous economic engine. Each year, millions of outdoor enthusiasts spend, are you ready for this? $21.6 billion on outdoor recreation just in Washington state.
Wow.
Statewide, that outdoor recreation supports 200,000 jobs, exceeding the number of jobs in both technology and aerospace industries. In addition, $2 billion in local and state sales tax are collected annually as a result of outdoor recreation. So besides counting those numbers as part of the national economy, the passage of the law may also make economic sense for the value of property funding and maintaining public lands. Local communities, both urban and rural, in proximity to public lands can see a significant boost in their economies. So I thought that was interesting just for the numbers, 21.6 billion on outdoor recreation just in the state of Washington. Imagine what it is nationwide. And, you know, and speaking of Gold Country, who knows, right? Well,
Yeah.
I bet somebody does.
I was reading up on the 2017, how our parks are going to be, the BC parks are going to be free of charge to locals and visitors, and how much money that actually brings in to Canada for the country. And it brings in about $36 million that we would just be giving up as revenue so that we can offer our parks for free so that people can come enjoy for Canada 150. So yeah, definitely being outside is a big economy booster for our countries for sure.
36 million in just the Parks Canada pass, Discovery Pass.
That's right. That doesn't include the
Wow.
staying overnight. That's just their visits.
Wow.
Interesting. And, you know,
a bit of cash.
yeah, exactly. Staying overnight is huge. And of course, you know, spending money in food and gasoline and all the other sundry products that are necessary.
Right.
Well, and speaking of visits and staying overnight in the woods, our next story comes from just outside of Gold Country. And we heard from the Vernon Search and Rescue Group that their 2016 rescue calls doubled in volume. So from 2015 to 2016, they did twice as many rescue calls. It's a story by Kate Bowie in the local paper in Vernon. And we're also, through that article, given some sage wisdom from Leigh Pearson, who is the search and rescue manager for Vernon SAR. And Pearson said that some people may be taking risks, but many are just relying too much on, quote, electronic gizmos such as cell phones, spot beacons, and GPS. While they're wonderful tools, Pearson says they can fail and then the person is lost. I think we've talked about this in the past.
I think so.
But the key point that that Leigh Pearson's making is they don't have the people who are going out and getting rescued or needing to get rescued, they don't have that background knowledge of how to use a map and a compass, which literally can save your life. Pearson said people should be prepared when heading into the backcountry or planning a long journey, and is quoted as saying, "When I say prepared, have extra food. Extra water is a big one, extra clothing, a means to build a shelter, something to light a fire with, We've talked about the, I think it's the 8 basics is what it's referred to before, but just common sense, said Pearson. Tell someone where you're going and when you expect to be back. All of that information can make a difference on how they approach the search and rescue. So yeah, this is all very familiar stuff. We've talked about it in the show before, but it's all super applicable.
And here we're having search and rescue organizations saying it again. It is really important. So if you're planning to go out in the backcountry, take the equivalent of an entire Home Depot with you.
Yeah, pretty much.
Because you need to be able to build that shelter. Oh, wait.
Not quite that much.
That may be a little hyperbole.
A little bit. But do be prepared and do understand what you're dealing with. Don't put all of your navigational faith in that device.
In one basket?
Something like that, yeah. It's back to basics and common sense. Something that's, not all that common, I've found out there in the world. So building on search and rescue and outdoor tips, the North Country Trail Association has shared their top 6 tips for safe winter hiking. And as of yesterday, it is now officially winter, folks.
Well, what a timely story.
That's right. So those 6 tips are in order. Number 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6.
Oh, so we went from 1 to 6. We didn't count them down from 6 to 1?
That was it.
Okay. Well done.
Did you want me to elaborate on the 6 at all?
Well, the first one says never go out.
That's right.
You may want to read the rest of that one.
That would be very safe. However, to read the whole thing in context, well, I think it would be safe. I don't know. It depends where you're in. Okay, elaborating on the 1 through 6. Number 1 is never go out alone, and part of that is make sure someone knows where you're going. So, don't do business alone. Don't hike alone. Let a family member or friend know when you'll be out on the trail and when you expect to return, so that if you don't show up by that time, they know, hey, we need to go look for.
And as I always say, tell someone who cares. That's
important. Yeah, because if you don't come back by the appointed time, somebody might just throw a party, depending on who you told. No, that would never.
Wow. Don't tell those people where you're going. They don't care.
Number 2 is beware of reduced visibility. As Chris of the Northwest mentioned, yesterday was the shortest day of daylight for this year, the winter solstice. So there are fewer daylight hours now than maybe in the summertime or other times of the year. And you might also deal with weather conditions that can affect visibility, like blowing snow. So take a light with you. Headlamps are great. Map and navigation tools, as was mentioned previously. Don't rely solely on that GPS.
That
gizmo in your hand. And, if your trail's covered in snow, it's kind of hard to see and get some bearings where you're going. So beware of reduced visibility. Number 3 is carry the 10 essentials. And the 10 essentials are a must. It doesn't list what those 10 essentials are in this story. So you're just going to have to know.
One of them's in the entire Home Depot.
Oh, yeah. Number 2 is a truck to carry the contents of the Home Depot.
No, that's extra
that may
food.
not be correct.
No, but there'll be links to all this, and we've covered a lot of the basic essentials to carry with you in the outdoors on prior episodes. And as I mentioned, the common sense, it's a good thing to have. 10 essentials are a must. Hiking through snow and ice can take longer than usual. Number 4 is to wear proper footwear. You may love those Ugg boots, or you may love those, what are the cheap plastic things that everybody seems to like that I don't care for?
Those boots.
Yeah. You can put little trinkets in the
Crocs.
Yeah. Crocs are not what you should wear on the trail in the snow. Just saying.
Not even snow Crocs.
Yeah. Not even flip-flops. Or growing up, I called them thongs. Don't wear a thong on a snowy trail. You've heard it here first.
You can, but you should wear other layers.
Yes. Some people also call them go-aheads because you can't back up in them. Yeah. So wear proper footwear. Snowshoes if the snow is deep. Extra traction devices like Yak Track, stabilizers. Those are all great. And if even if it's not icy at home, you get out there on a trail, it could be icy. You don't know. Mm-hmm. So Sign up for the Hike 100 challenge, it says, as a bonus before January 31st, and you'll be entered in a drawing to win that set of stabilizers. So if you don't have those and you want them, go check out the show notes and check out that drawing. Trekking poles with carbide tips help for traction and hiking things. Really great to do. Number 5 is to beware. There's a lot of bewares here.
Mm-hmm.
Beware of hypothermia. Dress in layers. As Land Monkey mentioned, you can start with a thong if you want. The ones on your feet I'm talking about. He's talking about something else. But dress in layers because weather changes frequently, rapidly, and, keep extra dry or warm clothes in your backpack because even if you've got all the necessary layers, if you slip, fall, do something weird, the weather changes and you get wet, dry clothes, especially dry socks, makes all the difference.
Yes, it does.
You can carry a space blanket, extra food, thermos of warm beverage in your backpack too. It's all great. Hypothermia can be a killer. We make lots of jokes here, but that's no laughing matter. And the last and final tip, if you're keeping track at home, that would be number 6 on your scorecard, is to stay hydrated. We've said it here year in and year out, summer, winter, fall, spring, you name it. Stay hydrated. Take plenty of water with you. It's easy to overlook this one. We think about it a lot in the summertime. It's hot, it's dry, I'm thirsty, I want to drink water, but it's really important to stay hydrated even in these cold winter months.
Yeah.
Coffee, hot chocolate, those things can dry you out sometimes more than not. Go ahead.
I was thinking, I watched some football over the weekend.
Really?
American football. And they were playing in, 2-degree temperatures. And people were becoming dehydrated because they weren't drinking enough, even professional athletes. So
is that 2 Celsius or 2 Fahrenheit?
Yes. Doesn't matter those numbers.
Okay. If it's single digits, be careful.
Yeah. Oh, well, thank you so much. There are some funny comments in the chat here. 3ham says the first 3 on that list of 10 are beer, wine, and liquor, but I don't think he's right.
No, I think it's not.
No. And I know Seattle says, on your phone, have an ICE number that's in case of emergency.
Yes.
Yes, his is Shadow from the search and rescue. So it's like, well, that's
good choice.
Very good choice. But something you should always pack is an ugly Christmas sweater. In fact, our friends and supporters at World Caching are providing a travel bug prize for December, and the theme this month are those wonderfully colored Christmas sweaters that you should have on underneath all of your other hiking gear.
Land Monkey was demonstrating one there. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. Well done, sir.
Hashtag FATAS.
So geocaching.com has created the new ugly Christmas sweater travel bug, and you can win one of your very own simply by posting a picture of an ugly Christmas sweater and including the hashtags ugly sweater and caching NW.
That's right. You don't have to be wearing the sweater. It can be on someone else. It can be on a rack in a store, or perhaps it can be on the prospector in Cache Creek. Hey, whichever way it makes you happy to get an ugly sweater posted, but be creative, have fun with it, and make sure to post a photo before December 31st with the hashtags hashtag ugly sweater and hashtag caching NW as soon as you can to make sure that you're entered. We're getting lots of entries. It is so much fun to check my social media feeds, search for those hashtags, and see what comes up. You guys are having a hoot with it, and you're getting some great photos, so keep up the good work.
Yeah, a lot of companies in their PR are getting into the ugly sweater kick. So, you're going to fit right in. Just go ahead and tweet that out, or Facebook, Google+, however you do it. UDAC in the Q&A says, I guess ugly Crocs would go well with ugly Christmas sweaters.
Ugly Crocs don't go with anything. And I consider most Crocs ugly. So, but in this case, I'll make an exception.
Okay, well, let's switch topics rather abruptly then. Terry, we are so delighted to have you back on the show. Now, we do have geocaching questions for you, but before we get into those things, because we're so close to the holidays, do you have any exciting plans over this holiday season?
Nothing too crazy. Just gonna be visiting family and friends and taking part in some holiday cheer. That's about it.
I love it. That's nice. And that's really what's most important, isn't it?
I think
Now,
so.
Terry, one of the reasons we have you on is because a couple of weeks ago, you shared a little teaser with us that geocachers can get paid to do this hobby, the game, the sport that we call geocaching. Can you tell us more about that?
Yes, I sure can. So it does sound like pretty much the dream job for just about every geocacher out there. Every year we send out maintainers that go and take care of our geocaches that need to be taken care of. So they go and they'll change out the logbooks, make sure that there's new stickers in there, get rid of the garbage, put new swag in, all that good fun stuff. And we send them out to the ones that need it, especially the ones that get visited frequently. And this go round, this season, we'll be actually sending them to the ones that haven't been visited in the last couple of years for maintenance, just because they've been maybe logged 14 times since their existence. So we don't send them out to them every single year. It would kind of ruin our budget, but this year we will be kind of sending them out and about to just about all of them. So if anybody's interested in going out and exploring Gold Country and actually getting paid to log those smileys and hike our hikes and explore our beautiful interior of BC, they should definitely submit a bid for tender and let us know what they feel that they should get paid to do that for us.
So, Terry, is this a commitment for multiple years or just for the 1 year? How does that work?
It's for 1 year to start off. Most of our maintainers do stay on for at least a couple of years just because they love it so much. And there's always new geocaches that are set up as little breadcrumbs along the way, as we like to call them, to our geocaches. So they are able to go out and get bigger numbers and still get paid to do so. It's just one of those things that sometimes people move away from the area, or it's just no longer their big interest, and so we like to offer the opportunity to somebody new that's excited about it.
Awesome. Hey, I have another question. Now, having cached quite a bit in Gold Country, like a lot of our listeners have, and hopefully more will, there's the actual Gold Country Geo Tour caches, but then there's a lot of other caches that are Gold Country caches that have been put out for the annual Gold Country events. Now, which caches are we talking about for this maintenance?
It would just be the Geo Tour ones. The ones that have been set up for the events are volunteer maintained. So whoever went out and hid them are responsible for maintaining them.
Awesome. Thanks. Appreciate you clarifying that.
You're welcome.
And again, if people want to bid on this or want to try their hand at it, where should they go, Terry?
They should email us at geotour@telus.net or info@goldcountry.net. No, that's not right. Let's go with my email, which is goldcountry@telus.net.
Awesome. All right. So we'll make sure we include those email addresses in the show notes as well.
Thank you.
Now, each year, Gold Country Geotourism does put on, and I just made a reference to it, they do put on some fun events. Any hints as to what might be coming up for 2017?
I do. So
She's not going to tell us, is she? You're No, go ahead.
So, a lot of people have expressed that they were big fans of the Cash for Gold year, where they had the opportunity to win an actual gold bar. So we have decided to bring that opportunity back. And so year number 5, we will be having the theme for Cash for Gold once again. So people will have that opportunity to win a gold coin that will have real cash value. And this may be the last one. So if you've always been saying that, I know, right?
Oh.
I know, but if you've always been saying that you have been wanting to do it, this may be your last year. So I'm not saying for sure I'm not going to do, an M&M or, some other band member that says they're never going to tour again. But
Rolling Stones.
right. This could be it. So that's my call to action. That's letting you all know that if this is something you've been wanting to do, this may be it. So
Well, every year that it's happened, we have had something else going on with the kids, and now they're adults. So we're really hoping that this year we can go. So
come on down or up, I guess.
Up.
Up for us, yeah.
So tell us when it is.
It will be the September long weekend. So
Okay.
I believe that's September 1st until 4th. It'll be 4 days again. And oh my gosh, my dog is playing in the back. If you hear that noise. So yeah, it's 4 days, and I hope that you'll come and join us.
Love it. Do you know how large the coin is? I mean, ounces? Are we talking pounds, kilos?
We don't know just yet. It will have a big impact on how many people we have sign up and pay for registration bags.
Gotcha.
Would be a big contribution to how much the coin will be valued at.
That's cool.
That's very cool. Absolutely. So, hey, speaking of 2017, and as we did earlier in the show, Canada's 150th birthday, which takes place July 1st, 2017, for those who may not know when our national birthday is. There are a lot of outdoor outdoor activity related celebrations going on all over Canada. We've been seeing, good old participation has reared its head back again, and they've got a lot of stuff going on. But Terry, question for you guys. Is there any possibility or anything going on with Gold Country with respect to Canada's 150th?
Yes, absolutely. There's quite a few activities that I know are being planned for Canada's 150 that don't just take place even on Canada Day. They take place all throughout the year. So we do have a calendar of events on goldcountry.com, and people can go on there and they can see all of the great things that we have planned throughout the year. Definitely on Canada Day, I mean, every single community that you're gonna go to, there's gonna be something going on. Always some kind of free cake or some great incentive to be there. So yeah, make sure that you come and check us out for our birthday party.
Did you hear that, Chris? Free cake.
Oh, free cake. And go to exploregoldcountry.com. That's where you want to go to find the free cake. No. Jay, Land Monkey, why'd you do that? Yeah, you threw me off. Now, we know, I think it's all of Canada, but especially Gold Country can get a little cold and snowy this time of year. Does that mean the Geo Tour and other geocaching's just done for the season?
Well, we definitely do slow down throughout the winter. That's for sure. However, there are quite a few geocaches that we have in town that are sheltered that people can go and check out and definitely find, especially the ones that have the handy caching rating that are a little bit lower. You know that you'll be able to go right up to them and usually find them right away. There won't be a lot of snow cover. I've had my own experience going out trying to find geocaches in the middle of winter. I've taken snow shovels with me and trying to dig them out, and to no avail along the big bar ski trails. But you know what? I had a lot of fun going out and snowshoeing instead. So, it's just one of those things where you're hoping you're going to find a geocache, but you enjoy the trek anyway.
Exactly.
Now, Terry, Gold Country covers a really large geography. So would it be fair to say that the winter conditions are really going to vary by where you go geocaching in Gold Country?
I would say that for the most part, we do experience a real Canadian winter with mostly snow cover when it is the winter seasons. We're not quite like the lower mainland that gets a lot of rain. So for the most part, there will be snow. So if you are planning on heading out, I would be prepared for having those winter conditions.
Okay. Now, there's obviously the common sense that if you're going to head up to Gold Country in the wintertime, to make sure you've got the correct equipment and your car is correctly set up. But are there actually laws or any kind of enforcement? Like we know some of the parks you can't get in unless you've got chains, things like that.
For example, some of the parks might have their gates locked and you can't drive in whatsoever. So if you still want to make the trek in, you can, just not with your vehicle. So you might want to plan for an extra couple of hours and enjoy those couple of hours being in a winter wonderland. Yeah, there's definitely a few things that you definitely need to do a little bit of research on if you are wanting to go out exploring when we have our snowfall.
Cool. Hey, in the chat, I see Wino Seattle has asked a question of you, Terry, and it's how deep does the snow bury some of those caches?
Ooh, well, that definitely varies. I would have to say the one that I was searching for up at the Big Bar Ski Trail, I stopped when I got to maybe around the 3-foot mark, and I still hadn't hit dirt. So yeah, I would have to say that it definitely does vary, but we're not all Eskimos up here. We don't all live in igloos, and it does definitely vary when and where you are looking.
It is the Great White North, eh?
That's right, eh?
Eh?
Yeah, hoser.
Emphasis on the white there.
Hey, I've got my two.
Nice.
Good stuff. Oh, go ahead, Chris.
No, please.
Well, I was just going to say that kind of runs through all the questions that we had in the show. But, again, if there's anything from the chat that anybody has.
I see Three Hens in a Rose comments that he's cached on the mountains surrounding Vancouver with a snow shovel. He says, some caches are manageable and others have over 6 feet of snow covering them. So it varies.
Yeah. To that, Wet Coaster says, I met a couple of guys in Edmonton that geocache in the winter using a metal detector at times, a thermos of hot water to melt the ice as well.
Smart.
That works good.
I mean, that's pretty serious stuff.
Well, it's pretty seriously cold in Edmonton and that area. So
yes.
I mean, he met the only other 2 people that choose to live there.
That's right. Wet Coaster also commented back on the ugly sweater theme that every Vancouver Canuck sweater qualifies as an ugly sweater.
Boo.
Ouch.
Yeah.
I didn't say it, so I'm just quoting.
There's some, like every sports team. And, I'm going to point out maybe the unitards that the Seahawks were playing in recently.
Yeah.
The human highlighters.
Yeah, not my favorite uniforms. So it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
So every team has its ups and its downs.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's down. That's down.
Yeah, that's down. Yeah.
Awesome.
So,
hey, I was going to say there's another question from Wino Seattle for Terry. And it's, when is the best time of the year for the 50 state tourists, so our good friends from south of the border, to come up and visit Gold Country?
My suggestion would be spring or fall. A lot of people do love caching, I'd say between March to very early June, and then we do get a little bit hotter, so it's still great geocaching season, but you do need to have that extra preparation and be prepared for it to be smoking hot. And then fall is always a very popular time, so late August until sometimes late October would be ideal time to come and visit us. And yeah, and why not winter? Come on.
Absolutely.
I was going to say, don't leave it too late in the fall, because then Left Field Cider closes. So
yes,
that's important.
You need to hit up Left Field Cider.
But at least I do every time I'm through anyway.
But as you say, don't rule out winter. Just keep in mind the tips we mentioned earlier to be prepared.
Right.
Right on. All right. Well,
Nice.
This has been a lot of fun. And if we're going to think about wrapping it up, do we want to maybe share where people can find us on the various interwebs? Terry, if somebody was looking to get a hold of you personally or with respect to Gold Country, where do your stalkers find you?
Oh, mine personally, I have multiple venues that people can find me. But with Gold Country, you can find all of our social media channels on exploregoldcountry.com. On the very right-hand corner, you have all those handy-dandy little links to every place that you can find us, including Facebook and Twitter and Instagram, Vimeo, YouTube, Google+, LinkedIn, all those good fun things. So yeah, that's the best place for you to go and check it out. And me, I'm pretty much just me, Terry Hadwin. You can find me on Facebook or whatever.
And
Nice.
and some great Instagram pics that you post on your feed as well, Terry.
Oh, thank you. That's Better with Bruce. That's my my handle on Instagram. Better with Bruce. Bruce is my dog, by the way. FYI.
Just for clarity. Yeah, there you
Gotcha.
go. And congrats on the new Gold Country website. It looks fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. We love it too. It's very easy to navigate, and we know that it has a lot better viewability on those mobile devices, which is something we've been wanting to do for a while now. So, yeah.
Well, thanks, Terry. Hey, Land Monkey, where can we find you?
Well, I'm right here.
Okay. Next.
Well, as always, landmonkey.blogspot.ca. That's our website. And if you want to follow us on Twitter, Instagram, and Periscope, maybe not as good at pictures as Terry posts, but they're still kind of fun. And that's at LandMonkeyGC. On Facebook, we're Team Land Monkey. And on YouTube, well, that's where all the videos go. And that's just search Land Monkey on YouTube. And Wits End, my friend, where do people find you?
And by the way, those are some great videos over there at Land Monkey
Thank
GC. Well, you can find me, as Terry mentioned, the smoking hot part here on the podcast at cashingnw.com. No, not really. I'm Wits End at Facebook, at Twitter, geocaching, and just about anywhere I can be Wits End, I'm Wits End. So Google Wits End, you're bound to find me sooner or later. Chris of the Northwest, sir.
Well,
How about you?
You simply look for me on Twitter at CachingNW, Facebook.com/CachingNW, and Google.com. Sorry, Google.com/plus CachingNW. I got all choked up about that. Head on over to CachingNW.com/host to read our bios and find all the links that we just mentioned.
That's right. All that and more at cashingnw.com. And for the rest of you and everybody in the chat and everybody listening and everybody in the podcast, we want to thank you. We really appreciate all of you for taking the time to listen to this episode of Caching in the Northwest. You know, you can be part of the show. Give us a call, 253-693-TFTC. Leave us a comment, ask us a question, email us fruitcake, like fruitcake, anytime, day or night. And of course, you can email us at feedback@cashingnw.com. Also, your support helps to keep quality shows coming. If you like this show, please click that Patreon link on the cashingnw.com website. This show is licensed under a Creative Commons Attribution 3.0 license. Copyright 2016 by Chris Umfenauer. Thanks for joining us, and stay tuned for something else.
The after show.
That would be it.
Nice. Thank you. Now, Terry, since you were on last, we now include... Uh-oh. Something happened. We now go on and include the after show, or a time where we just sit and chat with our friends here. You're welcome to stick around. If you have to go, we completely understand, and we thank you so much for being on Caching in the Northwest.
Well, I think I'll stick around just in case you guys talk about me.
Uh-oh.
Well, undoubtedly, we're going to. We always
Well, now we have to.
We already mentioned the smoking hot part.
Oh,
Wow.
bing.
But if you're going to stick around, we want Bruce on the show too.
Well, okay. This doesn't talk much, though.
Terry, you're such a good sport.
Oh, dear.
Oh.
All right. So what do we
Wet
got
Coaster says it gets cold in Edmonton, but it's a dry cold.
Technically, it's true. It is a dry cold compared to when it gets cold on the wet coast here.
Oh,
What do we got going on in the show notes? I see a whole bunch of stuff here.
3Ham wants to know from Wits End, is it that cold in the studio today, or is it just a bad hair day?
Well, pretty much every day's a bad hair day. But when I came out to the podcast studio tonight, it was single digits Celsius. So, and we mentioned that's cold if it's single digits. So it was in the high 40s here Fahrenheit. I do have a space heater at my feet, and it's taken a bit of the chill off, but it was chilly out here tonight. So,
at our age, any day we have hair is a good hair day.
Well, that's true.
Okay.
Yes.
Beat Pendragon says he actually put on long pants last week.
Oh,
that would be the same era as my son, who wears shorts for 51.9 weeks of the year. And Wet Coaster says it gets cold in Edmonton, but it's a dry cold. So
there you go.
okay. Sorry, we had some
A little disruption.
in the chat.
yeah, but thanks to our moderators, it was caught and deleted. Thank you.
Yeah,
very much.
exactly.
we got the
Thank you.
best moderators.
We do.
They're the good cops. Oh, great. Okay. It continues.
Does it?
It's okay. They're going away.
Some people just don't have enough time on their hands. Or have too much time.
Exactly. Oh, let's see. What else do we have? Dora Moore sent in a little update to the glow that we read last week.
Yes. So
Yes.
if anybody missed it, that glow was with respect to a geocache that a muggle found had become attached to their motor vehicle. And they contacted Dora Moore and worked with her to get the cache back to the proper owners, I guess. So here's the follow-up. Who wants to read it?
I'll go ahead.
Go for it.
It starts off, hi guys. As promised, I went back and listened to the first 10 minutes of tonight's show that I was late for, and I see you are all pretty curious about the story. So here's the part I left out of my log. The muggle was a young guy, late teens, early 20s maybe, and he told me that his dad's pickup truck had picked up the cache. His dad found it lodged in the opening between the tailgate and the bed of the truck. At first, they thought it was a piece that had broken off some of the equipment or tools they carry. His dad tossed it in the back seat, thinking it might be important and they'll find what it belongs to later. But it stayed there for a month or more before the son was cleaning out the truck and examined it a little more closely. That's when he noticed the container actually opened. The logbook had a header and identified it as a geocache, but didn't have the name of the cache or the owner. There's a lesson to be learned here.
Take note. Mm-hmm.
The dad wanted to find the owner of the mysterious little container, so the son went online to see if he could find a way to return it. He had heard of geocaching, so he combined geocaching and Vancouver in his Google search and came up with the Metro Vancouver geocaching Facebook page.
Kudos to their SEO.
There you go.
Oh, well
That
done.
would be Dora Moore.
There you go.
Once we figured out which cache it was, and it had indeed gone missing earlier in the year and had been replaced, I solved the actual puzzle and checked out the location on Google Earth. It was at the corner of a park in Vancouver, and I figured it had to be on the bench. I came up with a theory that someone put something down under the bench, likely a bag of some sort, and it dislodged the nano and attached itself to that item. Then it got tossed in the back of the truck where I got stuck to the tailgate. I asked the son if this might be possible, and he said it very well could be. The truck is used by different work crews, and they go all over the lower mainland. So sometimes they stop for breaks in parks. Once we picked up the original container at the SkyTrain station, Marty, Nankikoro, and I continued on and found the replacement cache on its park bench, just as I had predicted. Nankikoro's found it log said, thanks to Dora Moore's sleuthing and puzzle solving talents, we found this cache in 2 different places on the same day. I can honestly say I've never done that before. Thanks for the fun adventure. So there you have it, an entirely amazing and amusing little story. You couldn't make this stuff up if you tried.
That truth is stranger than fiction. It's true.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, that's funny. That was a great story. We had Chris Ronan on the show last week when that came up, and I asked him, "Have you ever had a story like that come through geocaching.com?" And he said, "Nope, that's a first." So there you go.
I discovered that story on Twitter of all places. That was really fun to follow that thread.
That's awesome. Terry, I have to ask, the t-shirt you're wearing now, is that Swiss or First Aid?
Well, it was the old logo, and underneath it says needs maintenance. So for those who know, but it's now a wrench. But yeah, it's vintage.
Nice.
That's awesome. Needs maintenance. I love it. All right.
I love it.
So aside from a lot of the negative attention we're getting in the chat room, anything else going on in there? Brylang says it's Swiss First Aid.
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
Oh, that's funny. All right. Let's scroll back up here.
Yeah, and I've just gone over and followed Better with Bruce on Instagram, so I can now see pictures of Bruce here.
Tracy from World Caching says, "Oh, darn
Says
it.
hi.
Yeah, I clicked on something here. Okay, here we go. She says that she said Lillooet has some absolutely amazing mountains for hiking, and they try and only go in the fall, just before the snow falls. And I would say if you want to see what some of the hikes in the mountains around the Lillooet area look like, check out our Land Monkey YouTube videos. Terry has been generous enough to give me carte blanche. I don't have to ask for permission anymore. I can post any videos about Gold Country caches.
Nice.
You betcha.
So I always do try and ask for permission if in any way I think the video spoils the cache. And Terry said, "No, get more people coming up here. Show them how much fun it is."
I love it.
Yeah.
One of the things that were mentioned earlier in the show was this ice, or in case of emergency. What a lot of people do is put that on their phone as they create a contact called ice. That way, if something has happened to them, it's hard to do these days with smartphones that auto lock. But if you can open their phone and take a look, you contact their emergency contact and get them help. So.
Yeah, in fact, Android phones have that as a default contact group.
Nice.
At least Samsung Android phones.
Didn't know that.
So there's that.
Yeah. Good to know.
It is. It's cool. It's a great idea and really good suggestion in the chat room to bring that up. It's definitely making sure you have your in case of emergency contact available is super important.
Wow, people are mean in the chat. Brylang says, "Whoever has a bad knee, raise their leg."
I was going to say people or just certain reviewers.
Well, certain reviewers. Wino Seattle sent a hilarious glow that we'll read here in a couple of weeks. That he injured his knee on a cache, which is unfortunate.
That's what he means by stay tuned to future episodes. Got it.
Yeah, I think I saw some back and forth on Twitter about that.
Might be.
There you go. So yeah, definitely looking forward to our next trip up to Gold Country. I don't know if we'll make it up there in the winter, Terry. Wintertime, we tend to just stay down here in the lower mainland or go over to the island. But I don't know. We've got some new snowshoes. Maybe it's time to head up there.
Yes, we have tons of great snowshoeing trails. I don't know if you are on Facebook at all. If you go and you check out our top post, it's Explore Gold Country is our Facebook page. Our top post has a video of a couple going out snowshoeing and having a great time. So yeah, there's definitely lots and lots to do in our area. Geocaching being, a very popular favorite, but there's lots to keep us busy.
Very cool.
So Terry, if somebody wanted to come up there to go either cross-country skiing or snowshoeing this time of year, is there any resource that you would direct them to where they can identify the best trails or at least trails that are set for that kind of activity?
Well, yeah, we actually are very hard at work right now working on our newest edition of our trail guide. We do have the old edition out there in circulation. We've run out of copies. It was such a popular item. So we are working on the second one, and it will let people know a lot of our great skiing and snowshoeing trails. I'm very partial to the Big Bar ski trails up just past Clinton, and also the Staked Lake area, which is very near Logan Lake. Both are two of my personal favorites that I enjoy a whole lot. I'm not a big fan of downhill skiing, but I'm very much all about snowshoeing and trying out cross country and that type of thing. So those are my personal two top favorites.
Well, you live in a great area for it, that's for sure.
I think so.
Nice. I like cross-country skiing. Now, I have never tried snowshoeing, and it's been on my bucket list, so maybe this is the year.
Got to get it done.
Yeah, my bucket list includes both snowshoeing and gold country. Perhaps I'll have to do them both at once.
I heard you might be able to knock out 100.
That's gross. 144.
Oh,
no.
There you go.
That's different.
Oh.
Whoa, what happened?
Well, I think we lost Terry, and Wits End is upside down.
Well, that happens.
So did Google Hangouts just do a
I think it
instantaneous reboot on us or something?
Oh, and Terry's back.
It wasn't us, Terry. It was
something
Google.
Went wrong.
Yeah.
Kicked me out.
Yeah, and it kicked Jim right upside down.
I'm telling you.
It hit Jim right upside the head. Wits End teleported to Australia. Says
I'm telling you, what's the deal?
Terry, we hardly had enough time to start talking about you, but we got a few things in before you.
Wits End is really hanging out.
That's right.
He's got a few hang-ups, actually. And now you can see them.
In the Bat Cave.
Oh, that's funny.
So Dora Moore says she gets to go snowshoeing on Boxing Day.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Nice.
Isn't that when you have to put the snowshoes back in the box?
Yes.
Okay.
Or you have a pair of oversized gloves on while you go snowshoeing.
Oh, gotcha.
Gets a little rough out there.
Wow. That's wrong. Does that help keep the bears away?
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, they're hibernating, but so it definitely works.
Dora Moore says she's not working on Christmas. First time in 8 years.
Wow.
Nice.
Lucky her. Jim has magnetic shoes. I like that.
Subway marks. Yeah, we saw that in Star Trek.
Was that the first movie?
Oh.
Trying to remember which movie.
No, that was one with the Klingons when the Klingons were killed. 6?
5 or 6, yeah.
Okay.
Wow.
Oh yeah, 4 was the one with the whales, right?
There'll be whales here, Captain.
That's right.
This is the part of the show where we nerd out, Terry.
I remember the whales one. I remember the magnetic boots, though. Sorry.
It's okay.
I'm only a half nerd.
That was Undiscovered Country with the magnetic boots. Oh, thank you.
Terry's only a half nerd.
Nailed it. Oh, the magnetic boots were also used in Star Trek: The Next Generation: First Contact.
Oh, there you go.
Oh yeah, they were outside the ship.
Yep.
Walking with
Three Hams and a Rose has a relevant question, which is: have any of the hosts done some caching lately? We haven't really used that part of the first part of the show in the last few episodes.
Well, that's because only one of the hosts ever goes caching.
I went to an event on Sunday.
That's
The
kind of like
local-
geocaching.
The local Geo Cafe, and it was Christmas themed. So it was very nice.
I can share my pastor's last Sunday and his ugly Christmas sweater.
It's a Seahawks one.
It is, but it's not a very attractive sweater.
That's awesome. So yeah, for myself, we went last weekend up onto Burnaby Mountain. Didn't find a lot of caches, but we found some decent sized ones, which was nice. And they were all in the snow. So we were hiking about in the snow, took a few great pictures and brought a shovel with us. So we were able to, brought a collapsible snow shovel. We were able to dig some of the caches out and then try and cover our trails on our way back to the main trail so that we don't give away the cache location.
Do you make the false trails just to throw people off, or do you cover up the trails you made?
I don't have that kind of time. It takes me long enough to find a cache as it is.
Yeah, I've been there.
He does have an entire false creek, though, right there in Vancouver.
It's true. Yeah.
B. Pendragon says, pro tip, on Wikipedia search, the one with the whales, it redirects to Star Trek IV, The Journey Home.
That's brilliant. I guess they've had enough searches. That's too funny. So it sounds like a lot of geocaching going on for our friends in the chat.
Well, and I should promote the Tacoma Cache Machine on January 7th.
That's coming up fast.
Yeah. So
it's right in the Tacoma area this time?
Yes. It's all around Tacoma.
Very nice.
I've done something here. There we go. The 7th is a Saturday. I had to go look. Nice. So yes, you start out towards South Tacoma. You go down into DuPont, Stillicum, come up through Lakewood. I don't know if there's University Place, Fircrest, but then you go all the way to the north end of Tacoma and come back to central Tacoma. I want to say there's 86 caches. So,
sounds like a long day.
Yeah. And since I found, a good number of these, there is a lunch event and a dinner. I'll at least hit those. Yeah. Ooh. I'm hearing myself.
Yeah, I've heard an echo ever since the reset
glitch.
or the glitch, whatever happened there.
Silly Google.
I don't trust them.
Awesome. Well, I think that probably wraps stuff up. I think we've covered off most of the relevant topics.
Subway Mark points, the Salem Boxing Day event is GC6Y20G.
Very nice.
So
very cool. And I know up in our little neck of the woods here, there's a December 31st event in Langley. For any local geocachers listening, I just don't remember what the GC code is off the top of my head, but yeah, I think most geocachers know how to find events in their area.
Dormore wants to see your ugly sweater there, Land Monkey.
All right. Well, before we go then, because we're going to wrap it up, but right before we do, here we go.
That's very proper.
It's
That's something in the grand schemes of everything.
Yeah, there you go. I've never really been a active proponent of the ugly sweater thing, but I thought this year, if I waited till the last minute, they'd be on sale, and they were.
Sure enough.
Three Hams goes, my eyes. More just simply says, wow. IHAM says, wow, that tops mine. I'm not sure it does, IHAM. I think they're equivalent.
Yeah, I was gonna say honestly, I've seen some photos, guys. Mine's pretty tame in comparison, so there you go. But it doesn't say needs maintenance, so I think Terry still wins.
Yeah.
Oh, shucks.
I like 3 hymns in a row. He said, GCD, please, GCD now.
There you go. All right, guys. Well, thank you.
My eyes, they burn.
Thanks very much to everybody in the chat. You guys make the show fun. Thanks, Terry. You made the show even more fun. Thank you for joining us.
Anytime. Thank you.
And until next week, get out and get caching in the Northwest.